With every game that passes in the Premier League, it becomes more difficult to overhaul Manchester City. Today's no exception as we face a local derby in the Premier League, and it's our last league phase game in the Champions League as we try and secure one of the last 16 automatic places. Hello and welcome to episode 39 of Irons in the Fire as we try and make West Ham good and great again. My name's Mark, and on today's episode we have for you two games against, first up, Sturm Graz in the Champions League League Phase Match Day 8, and then we face Chelsea at Stamford Bridge in the Premier League Match Day 24. So they are our two games, both away games today, both going to be extremely difficult and require us to be on our top form in order to make sure that, we qualify for the last 16 in the Champions League automatically, top 8, last 16, automatic, and also, of course, keep up the pace with the top of the Premier League, just in case Manchester City go awry, if that's at all possible. So that's all happening. And also, of course, we feature the closing days of the transfer window. What's been going on since you were last with us? We will come back and find out. Before all of that, though, just if you do enjoy today's episode, please leave me that big thumbs up. Subscribe, hit the notification button, and, of course, leave me a comment because that all helps me here on YouTube. And if you want to follow me on X, formerly known as Twitter, at JustOffsideFM. One other thing that we need to do before we progress on this episode is we have an FA Cup 5th round draw. If you remember in the last episode, we only managed a draw with Blackburn Rovers, 2-2 draw, which means that we are in the 5th round draw, albeit we still need to get past Blackburn Rovers at Ewood Park. That's the next episode if you were looking out for that one, and I hope you'll join me for it. But let's go and have a look at the draw for the 5th round, and I hand you to Past Mark. And so you join me for the draw for the Emirates FA Cup. Thank you to Future Mark. And we'll get underway. That draw against Blackburn, of course, replay to come. One of two draws by the looks of it. Fulham drawing with West Brom and go to a replay. So that's how it is. And we'll see how we get on. Ipswich Town beating Everton. That was the standout result from the last round of games. And a 5th round place at stake here. And first out come Brentford. They will play Newcastle. Brentford versus Newcastle. And there we are. We are out. If we can get past Blackburn, we will be playing Manchester City. Yeah, perhaps a draw we didn't really want. I don't know. Manchester United will play Bournemouth. West Brom or Fulham will play Arsenal. Bristol City will play Norwich City. Leicester City will play Coventry. Leeds will play Swansea, which leaves Ipswich and Wolves. Who's out first? Ipswich Town are at home to Wolves. This is the full draw for the 5th round then, and if we are to retain our trophy, we have to beat Manchester City. Not going to be easy, I won't lie. I really won't lie. I'll hand you back to Future Mark. And thank you very much to Past Mark for that draw. And yes, Manchester City we face in the 5th round if we can get past Blackburn. And if we want to retain the trophy we won last year against Manchester United, we're going to have to do it the hard way. So be it. So be it. Right. Well, what is there to tell you? There's been a bit of activity going on. First of all, let's quickly check up on the Premier League and find out what's been going on here. Manchester City currently top on 59 points. Have played a game more than most of us behind them. Arsenal are 10 points behind them on 49. Manchester United in third on 47. And then we come on 46 points in fourth place. On goal difference from Aston Villa, also on 46. Liverpool are 6th on 44. Then a little bit of a gap down to Nottingham Forest, taking up the last European place in 7th on 37. Mind you, they have lost 4 of their last 5 games. And then just outside of those European places, Leeds United doing extremely well on 35. And Brentford 9th on 32. At the bottom, Brighton still stuck on the bottom. 4 points adrift of Wolves, who are in 19th place, who in turn are 5 points adrift of Norwich City in 18th. But Burnley have managed to get themselves out of that bottom 3 by virtue of 3 wins in the last 5. And they are now 17th on 23 points. Then come Bournemouth on 25 points in 16th. And Tottenham way down there in 15th place on just 27 points. A poor season for Tottenham. Poor season for Chelsea, currently 11th on 31 points. Only won 1 in their last 5, lost 3. Let's hope today is another day that they don't get a win. Because if they do, we've had a poor do of it. Right, what's been going on in the old transfer spectrum? I think Ben Johnson went out in the last episode. 28 million, rising to 35 million. Lazio has gone to Fulham on loan. Nobody come in since Tammy Abraham. We do have a couple of irons in the fire, though. I think we mentioned them last time round. Wagnerman from Stuttgart is a wing-back, can play left or right. Hopefully he's coming in. 25 million, 39 million rising to. And then Drayot Upamecano, 69 million. I'm just hoping we've got enough money in the bank when it comes around to him. The other problem what we will have is we'll have to shuffle the Champions League pack as well. And there's going to be a couple of people that won't be happy. So we'll come to that in due course. Right, I think it's not a lot else to tell you, really, other than we need to get on with the episode and the Champions League phase match. And this is how it stacks up at the moment. There are a number of teams that have played on, because this is how it works, Tuesday, Wednesday, have played the Tuesday games, and those include Tottenham, who lost 3-0 to Inter. Who else have we got in here? Rangers beat Rosenborg by 2-0. Stuttgart drawing with Atletico Madrid. Young Boys of Bern beating Ajax by 1-0. Manchester City at 6-0 winners over Marseille. So they're pretty much concrete in there. And Besiktas 1-1 draw with Milan. And with those taken into mind, this is how it looks. Milan have qualified. I don't think they can be caught. Actually, I think that's why they've qualified 1. Manchester City have qualified 2. Liverpool have qualified, but not quite sure which position yet. Well, there's not much in it. There's a point down to here. And there are a number of teams down to 14, I think. Yeah. So the likes of Celtic, Juventus, Paris Saint-Germain, Bayern Munich can all get up into there by virtue of a win. A draw possibly might be enough, given our goal difference. But to be honest, I think the only way to secure a top 8 is to win. And then we would definitely be guaranteed, because that's where we are right now and nobody else can catch us then. And that's the best way to do it. Sturm Graz are guaranteed a playoff place. They're in 17th on 12 points. They can't get beyond that, really, but I guess they'll want to get as high up as they can. The best they can do is 15 points. So they could squeeze in there, I guess, depending on what else happens. It's still a possibility. So they'll be going for it. They've lost 3 of their matches in the groups, in the league phase so far. Lost 7-1 to Inter. 3-0 to Atletico Madrid and 3-0 to Paris Saint-Germain. They've won 4 of their 7 games. Shakhtar 3-1. The Young Boys of Bern 3-1. Copenhagen 4-3, a tight one that one. And Rosenborg by 4-0. So we'll see what comes of today's game. And I think it's probably a case of what we can do. I don't think we've actually played them before. Just checking. No, we haven't played them in this series at all. So that's how it is. Raul de Thomas is unregistered. We had to take him out because we didn't have enough homegrown players. So we've had to, as I say, we've had to have a bit of a jiggle round in the pack. Areola is out with a broken arm. They've got no problems at all with their team news. The other thing just to mention is that we do have, what was it that we had? Fernels is back into the Champions League squad. And this is the team that faces Sturm Graz in this Champions League phase. Match day 8, the final match day of the campaign in the league phase for this season anyway. And the team looks like this. Mazzulia in goal as he continues there in place of the injured Areola. Parisi, Friedel, Zuma and Sufal are defensive line. Schlanger, Ward-Prowse and Souček in midfield. Kudos sitting behind Bowen and Tammy Abraham up front on the bench. Trott, Todibo, Samadic, Watkins, Emerson, Fernels, Paqueta, Mavropanos, Kahera, Kamada, Mubama and Tarima. And here we are, Sturm Graz playing a 4-3-3 with a defensive midfielder and attacking midfielder behind 2, playing very narrow down the middle of the pitch. We're playing our usual formation as it stands. Sturm Graz playing in all black tonight. Sufal with a throw. He's to Souček. Back out again. Sufal, poor ball. He basically lost control of that. And Tammy Abraham trying to run down the goalkeeper. But it's midfield. Kudos is going to win that ball. Bowen, I think, heading it back, but it's lost again. Kudos not reacting quick enough. And Sturm Graz, we've been the dominant so far, but that doesn't count for anything if we go behind here. It's crossed into the middle. It's gone wide. It's kept in and gone over the top. Who's here? Causing the problems out wide there. But Friedel, enough. It's come back in again. And Memic. We have a free kick. 37 minutes on the clock. Ward-Prowse. Is he going to put this around the wall? He is. It's come back off the woodwork though, I think. Gone for a goal kick. They have a corner. Resch with the corner. It's swung in. It's headed clear. Zuma will run out for this. And can we catch them on the counter? Zuma, what's he going to do with this? He's holding the ball up, looking for a bit of support. He's crossed it into the box. But Leshner is there. Resch. And not getting anything from that. Last time I looked, Ward-Prowse, but he caught him by surprise. Souček gets in there, though. Abraham, Bowen! Straight at the goalkeeper, and the goalkeeper makes a save, or he's offside, actually. Ward-Prowse almost caught by surprise there, but Souček got a boot in. Kudos through to Bowen. Bowen just went a little bit early, I think. And half-time comes. And we'll have a quick look at the table, see where we're doing. 7th is where we are currently. It's all to do, but 7th is our current position. Would do us So it's not the end of the world if we do get a draw. But while it's a draw, we could equally lose it. So we need to be very, very careful going in the second half. 7 shots, 3 on target, 0.90 of 53% of the possession. They've had 2 shots, 1 on target, 0.68 and 47% of the possession. It's not much in it. 46 minutes on the clock. Parisi throws into Xavier. Xavier, Parisi into the box. Cross it in. It's cleared by the defender, but Soufal is there. Keeps it in play. He has Zuma inside him. Ward-Prowse back to Friedel. Friedel now out wide to Parisi. Parisi into Xavier. Xavier is into the box. Crosses in. It's gone in the back of the net. Tammy Abraham is the scorer on 46 minutes, 46 or 47 minutes. And, well, that was well worked. Out wide, Parisi. Xavier was in space. Xavier just created the thing and actually took a deflection. But Tammy Abraham's goal. We have a corner. Bowen with the corner. Can we make it 2-0? Yes! And Zuma makes it 2-0. So from being in a position 0-0 at half-time, we've scored 2 very quick goals here. Zuma, and it was a perfect corner. Ward-Prowse with a free kick. 55 on the clock. It swung in, and we've got a third. Tammy Abraham with his 3rd goal since joining us. 2 for the game. And on 56 minutes, we are 3 up from half-time where we got nothing. We've really started this first 10 minutes of this second half very, very well. And with 17 minutes on the clock, making 2 changes. It's Mohamed Kudus coming off. We brought on Pablo Fornells, who is better as an advanced playmaker, I've just realised, on there. So that's what we will make him on attack. And we've also taken off a Soucek from the midfield. We've brought on Thilo Carrera as as his replacement, and we may well no, we're going to leave him in that position. So there are 2 changes for now. They have a free kick just inside our half. Bodena to Diarra. Bodena, Muller, Lechner, out to Rash, Steger, and they come into the area, and he's got a lot of space, and basically we just stood off him. I'm not sure why we stood off him, but they've got a goal back on 71 minutes. Need to check that out in a minute, what's going on there. And Soucek just didn't seem to be bothered with him at all, and then we just stood off him and give him all the space he needed. Parisi on this near side with a long throw. Fornells heads it on. Tabby Abraham to Bowen, and Bowen puts his 18th of the season away. A question of offside, though. And it's going to go to VAR. I'm not sure. It is. He was offside. So we haven't got that 3-goal lead. Fornells, Tammy Abraham, he's not much in it, but he is just fractionally offside. Resch with a free kick swung in, and if we'll go another goal down here, it's going to make it interesting. It's come off the woodwork. And with 18 minutes on the clock, making 2 more changes, Soufal has come off. Mavropanos comes on to replace him, and we have replaced Kurt Zuma was our other player coming off. He's tired. He's had a good game, though, and Jean-Claire Todibo replaces him. We have a corner, 87 minutes on the clock. Ward-Prowse swings it in. Mavropanos, who's come on, gets his 2nd goal of the season. And on 88 minutes, we have got that 3-goal lead again. Mavropanos near post again. Ward-Prowse, perfect. And with 88 minutes, nearly 89 minutes on the clock, we're making our final change. And he doesn't look like he's going to score his hat-trick. Tammy Abraham has come off. He's probably player of the match today. Ollie Watkins comes on for the last few minutes and replaces him. And we've seen the game off. It's a 4-1. Try that again. It's a 4-1 win against Sturm Graz. I was too excited then, obviously. And excuse me, last time I looked, we were in 4th place and have guaranteed an automatic place in the last 16 of the Champions League. 14 shots, 8 on target, 2.61, 56% of the possession. Sturm Graz having 5 shots, 2 on target, of which 1 was a goal, 0.96 and 44% of the possession. It's been a good day at the office. Tammy Abraham getting 2 goals, 2 key passes and 2 clear-cut chances. He's had a good day. He's player of the match, and I'm not surprised. And so here we are after that good win against Sturm Graz. Let's see who has qualified. These are today's results. Barcelona beating Celtic by 4-1. Bayern Munich beating Real Sociedad. Harry Kane on the score sheet there, as he is in real life. Napoli beating Partizan 4-1. Liverpool beating Feyenoord 5-1. Manchester United only managing a draw against Lyon, a 2-2 draw there. Juventus beating Olympiacos 5-0. Paris Saint-Germain beating Copenhagen 4-0. Leipzig beating Shakhtar 8-1. And, of course, our result 4-1 against Sturm Graz. Some big scores in amongst there. Let's have a look how that affects the table for qualification then. Remembering the top 8 are automatic qualifiers. The next 16 will play off against one another to complete the round of 16. Those that are qualified, and these are seeded as well. So Milan are qualifiers 1, Manchester City qualifier 2, Liverpool qualifying 3. We are qualifying 4th, Barcelona qualifying 5th, Bayern Munich qualifies 6th, Paris Saint-Germain qualifies 7th, and Inter qualify 8th. They are the 8 automatics, and I think that means that none of these will play one another in the last 16, if my memory serves me right. And then the following teams have gone, or will have to go to playoffs. Juventus, Manchester United, Marseille, Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid, Celtic, Real Sociedad, Bayer Leverkusen, Stuttgart, Sturm Graz, Napoli, Nice, Besiktas, Leipzig, Benfica and Feyenoord. Tottenham missing out. And if my memory serves me right, all these teams just drop out now of European competition for the rest of the year. The losing playoff places will go into the Europa League. I think that's how it works. Don't quote me on that. Just check the rules. If you know, or if you know better than me, let me know in the comments. Maybe I've got it wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Right, so there we are. We have qualified, which means there will be a draw. That's quite interesting, isn't it? If you look at the top there, Italy on top, and then there comes 3 English teams and 4 English teams in the mix, as it were. Manchester United have to get through their playoff competition if they're going to get through to the last 16. But England dominant in those positions. Manchester City, Liverpool and ourselves. Very, very good. Right, as I say, we will have the draw for that last 16 when it comes round to it. But at the moment, that is all I can tell you. The other thing that's been going on is, if you look up here, 1st of February, the transfer window has slammed shut. Let's go and have a look at the transfers that have been happening whilst everything else has been going on. Right, just to confirm, no more outgoings in this window. We have released a few players, actually. Benrahma has gone to Brighton. Danny Ings has gone to Fulham. Alvarez has gone to Al Hilal in Saudi Arabia. Andy Irving has gone to Getafe. Ben Johnson has gone to Al Hilal, again in Saudi Arabia. And Lazio has gone to Fulham on loan. Was expecting some more to go out. Mavropanos amongst them. He never really got any bids in the end. It all disappeared down the drain. I'm not sure what happened. So we may well have overspent a little bit. But that's another thing. We also have a little bit of a problem in registrations, both for the Premier League and the Champions League, because effectively got too many players. Because I thought these two coming in were to cover players going out, or a player going out. So that's caused us a little bit of a hit show. Coming in on this transfer window then, we already know about Xavier Shalanga. He's been playing a few games for us and looks quite decent, to be fair. Tammy Abraham's come in from Roma for 59 million and, of course, has been scoring goals as well. So we're pleased with him. These are our two transfer deadline day recruits. Joshua Wagnerman, effectively coming in to replace Ben Johnson on the right-hand side there. 39 million from Stuttgart. The only problem is, right at the minute, he's injured. Yeah, would you believe it? So if we get him to come up. Come on. There we go. Yeah, he's injured. He got injured on the 28th of January, just before we bought him. And, of course, with the transfer window slamming shut, we couldn't wait. But as I've said before, I think he can play on both sides there in defence. So will be rather useful to us. Can play in central defence at a push. But it's not the most ideal position for him. So we will see how he gets on. He's got an injury proneness. Of course he has. So, yeah, that's why he's injured now. So we will check that one out at some point or other. But hopefully he will be quite a good utility player for us. His history is in Germany, Hamburg. He came through the academy in Hamburg, ended up in Stuttgart, and then obviously has ended up with us. Dreyot Upamecano. We had him in one of our other saves. And for the life of me, I can't remember which one it is. If you can remember, let me know down below. I can't remember if it was Tottenham. I have a feeling it was Tottenham, actually. Upamecano is coming from Bayern Munich for 69 million. Got him on a release clause. Means we've had to, because of Mavropanos not going out as expected, we've had to juggle around with the finances. More on that in a moment. But anyway, he's in. He is a central defender. He is a huge colossus in that middle, or can be. Need to get him up to speed possibly first. He has been around and about RB Leipzig, mainly Germany. He was in France and Austria for a little while, then Germany, Leipzig, and then Bayern Munich. He's played 4 seasons there at Bayern Munich. This season, 13 appearances, 1 goal, 1 assist, a 7.03. Last season, 20 appearances, 3 assists, 2 player of the matches, and a 7.21. It's that sort of form that we want to see again from him this season. As I say, we might need to just break him in a little bit first, though. Get him up to speed with a British football, as it were. So they are our 2 deadline day signings. I did say finances. It's jiggled the finances around a little bit overspent on the wage budget now because we had to move what was left of transfer budget, I think it was, into the wage budget. I can't remember which way around we did it now. We did something and it juggled around, which meant that we are a little bit overspent on the old wage. I think no, it was wage budget into the transfer budget. That's what we did in order to make sure that we got the 69 million to do. Because as I say, I was expecting Mavropanos to go out, so that would have covered the difference. And obviously, if a player does go out and saves us a bit of money, we can then move it back into the wage budget. But for now, we just have to go with it. What has been interesting, and if I can find it, this is the window that I was looking for. Premier League, top 5 highest spending leagues. The Premier League, 390 million. But this is the other one. We spent 198 million of that. So, yeah, roughly half of the, well, a little bit more, of the total Premier League spend we've spent. Yeah, not much more to say on that, is there really? Right, let's get on with it. We have the game against Chelsea next then, Premier League match day 24. And our previous history against them, we've played them 3 times in this series, not lost to them yet. Don't let today be the day. We've beat them both times at the London Stadium quite comprehensively, really, 3-0 and a 4-1. But when last time we were at Stamford Bridge, we struggled a little bit. Thomas Souček and Emerson, the scorers, 2-0 at half-time. They come back, Melamed and Nkunku in the from the penalty spot, giving them the equaliser. So a 2-2 draw on that occasion. That was in the Premier League. around about this time last year, actually, 30th of January. So a year ago. Let's hope for a slightly better result than that today as we try and keep up the pace at the top of the Premier League. And here is the team that faces Chelsea in this one. And I can tell you, Mazulia is in goal. Parisi, Zuma, Todibo and Soufal are defensive line. Shalanga, Ward-Prowse and Souček in midfield. Samadic starts behind Bowen and Watkins up front. And then on the bench we have Trott, Emerson, Kudos, Carrera. Upamecano makes his debut from the bench if he's going to make it. Kamada, Pakata, Friedel and Abraham make up the rest of the bench. And here we are at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea have lost four of their last 5 games. They're playing a 4-2-3-1 today. We have drawn 2 of our last 5, won the other 3. We are currently 4th on 46, Chelsea 10th on 31 points. Just a minute in, and first corner. It's gone wide though. Well defended. Samadic gets a breakout. Bowen goes across field. He's got Watkins in front of him, who's come wide for it. Watkins inside to Souček. Souček to Bowen, and the goalkeeper Kepa makes a save. It's gone for a corner. Ward-Prowse on this near side again. 8 minutes, nearly 9 minutes on the clock, and that was headed down, but Kepa getting to the post and saving it. We'll see the chance again. It was a lovely breakout. Watkins inside to Souček. Souček just tapped it in. Bowen. Chilwell with a throw-in for Chelsea on that far side to Sterling. Back to Chilwell. Cedo. And it's crossed deep. It's gone wide. Nothing coming of that one. No more highlights. It's half-time. And 0-0 half-time. But we've had 9 shots, 6 of which have been on target. Just not put them away. 1.53. Let's hope we don't rue the fact that we haven't been clinical in our finishing. They've had 5 shots, 2 on target. Points 4-4 on the XG. They've had the bulk of the possession, though. We need to up the possession rate in the second half. And maybe if we up the possession a little bit, we might be able to overawe them. But half-time, it's 0-0. And with 56 minutes on the clock, we're going to make one change. Kurt Zuma is tiring. He was quite tired, actually, when we put him in. But as I say, we didn't really want to start Upamecano. But Upamecano's going to get a good half an hour, 35 minutes. And he's come on in place of Kurt Zuma as a libero, which I haven't tried in this configuration. Let's hope it doesn't bite me in the arse. But apart from that, that is our change at the moment. We have a corner. Ward-Prowse with the corner. Swung in. All just wide from Upamecano. Corner now from this side. Samadic to take it. It's going to be an in-swinger. Swung in. And Thomas Souček gets his 11th goal of the season. And we take the lead after, I think it's 62 minutes. And tried it from the other side. Not been successful. But near post this time. And a glancing header beats Kepa. Chelsea with the ball. But we've tied it up. Parisi back to Mazulia. Back to Parisi as we come forward again. And he's Parisi is round him. Got it through to Bowen. Bowen now into space. Has Xavier there. Xavier chips it in. Bowen is in. Samadic. 12th goal of the season. Question whether he was offside. And I think he might have been. Kepa's remonstrating with the referee. I think it might have been given, actually. I don't think he was. It might be 2-0, boys and girls. No, he was onside. And Samadic puts it away. And having scored that second goal, we're making 2 changes at this point. Xavier Shalanga is coming off. He's tiring. He's played quite a few games since he's joined us and done very well as well. We've brought on Kahera to replace him. And Kahera goes out to the right. Souček moving out to the left as the attacking midfielder. And then Parisi, who has had a good game today. Not really on the average rating, but he has had a good game out on that left side. Emerson comes on to replace him. And with 78 minutes on the clock, our final two changes at this juncture in time. We have taken off Ollie Watkins and replaced him with Tammy Abraham up front alongside Gerard Bowen. Both of them were tiring. It was a decision as to which one to take off. Our final change is we brought on Lucas Paqueta, who has, I still can't pronounce his name right, who has replaced Thomas Souček, who's probably got a player of the match rating there of 8.2. Ball forward. And Carrera will come across for this. Carrera runs into space. He's gone round him. Samadic pulls it back for Paqueta, but nothing doing. Emerson been tackled, but he's still got hold of the ball. He's out wide, pulls it back for Paqueta. Samadic, Upamecano, nice ball through to Paqueta. Tammy Abraham, I'm not quite sure what happened, fired and it didn't do. We'll see it from the other angle. Paqueta, Samadic, Upamecano, back to Paqueta. It took a bit of deflection, I think. Chilwell with a throw in on this nice side to Chalobah. Back to Kepa. Ball forward, but Todibo's there. Carrera. Oh, nearly didn't get to that. Upamecano heads that down. Samadic, Bowen, back to Paqueta as we come forward. Bowen into space. Bowen is tired, but he seems to have legs. Back to Emerson. Emerson on the edge of the area. Soufal in off the post. His second goal of the season. And that will round it up, boys and girls. At least a 3-0 win against Chelsea. And deadly on the counter-attack there. Bowen. Emerson. And Soufal in off the post. In the 3rd minute of 6 added on, Kahera. Ward-Prowse from a throw-in from Soufal. Soufal comes back. He's got Musulia. Oh, and we've given it away. Oh, dear. Will they get a consolation? Not if we can help it. They're trying to get the ball back. None. Cuckoo, it's in the area. Todibo clears it, though. Still Conor Gallagher. Fresh legs. And that's crossed into the area. And good save. It's all over, boys and girls. And though we didn't have the possession, by golly, was that a comprehensive 23 shots, 11 of which were on target, 3.72. Probably should have had at least another goal out of that. 35% of the possession. They had 9 shots, 3 on target, 0.64 and 65% of the possession. That's what we need. And I think a little bit of security at the back there possibly gives us that little bit of extra oomph. We'll see how we go. A good Upamecano getting a 7.1 on his debut. So pleased with that. Souček, as I said, player of the match on 8.2. He's had a good day. 4 key passes, 3 clear-cut chances he created, and he had a goal to boot. A very good day at the office for Thomas Souček. And there at the top, our result, we were playing the early game against Chelsea, a 3-0 win against them. The other games have been played in the Premier League, and this is how it sits. Norwich beating Leicester by a goal to 0. Liverpool beating Nottingham Forest 2-1. Tottenham beating Wolves 2-0. Burnley losing to Brentford by 2 goals to 1. And Manchester City continuing their run at the top. 3-0 winners against Crystal Palace. So the table looks like this. They have a game in hand at the moment. We have a game in hand at the moment over Manchester City. But all that would do is close the gap to 10 points if we were to win that game. And that's the thing. Manchester City look like they are champions elect. We're in second on 49 points, just ahead of Arsenal, who are also on 49. We've got a superior goal difference to them. But Arsenal do have a game in hand, as do Manchester United. Both those win. They will overawe us when we be back down into 4th place. But for now, we are in that second place. Liverpool played 25 games. We have a game in hand over them and 2 points lead over them as well. Aston Villa are in 6th on 46, so they could get up level with us if they were to win their game. However, they've got to have pretty much a 12-goal swing in order to overawe us on goal difference. So I think we're okay there. Nottingham Forest taking up the last European place on 37 points. Brentford just outside on 36, with Leeds tucked in behind them. Chelsea are 10th on 31 points. And in the drop zone, Burnley dropped back into there. They'll be fighting their way to try and get out again, hopefully in the next episode, not against us. So it's Burnley, Wolves and Brighton in that drop zone at the moment. And I guess Wolves and Brighton will start to get a bit concerned because there is a little bit of a gap between them and Norwich. Burnley, not so much. So that is how it is going into the end of the episode. We are nicely poised in second place at the moment, behind Manchester City. We're going to come right back for the FA Cup 4th round replay. A chance to play Manchester City in the 5th round is at stake. So it's an all Lancashire derby, all Lancashire episode next time round. Blackburn first up, then at Ewood Park, and then we have Burnley come to visit us at the London Stadium. And can we get maximum points there to keep our run at the top? Because we've got some toughies coming up in the due course. Of course, as we go down then, we'll be looking at a Carabao Cup final as well. Bit of silverware glinting in the sunlight. At least we hope that's the case anyway. If you've enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to leave me that big thumbs up. Subscribe, hit the notification button. Keeps you up to date with all future episodes of this series, Irons in the Fire. And, of course, our other series, Bottom to the Top. If you've not been watching that, Weymouth, trying to bring them up through the leagues. Go and have a look. It's quite an enjoyable series, so I quite like it. And don't forget that new episodes of Irons in the Fire are released every Monday and Thursday at 4:15 p.m. And the best way of keeping up to date what's happening on this channel is to follow me on X, formerly known as Twitter, at JustOffsideFM. Thank you very much for watching. We hope to see you for the next episode. It's going to be episode 40. It's out on Monday. If you're not watching my other series, have yourselves a good weekend. Until then, bye-bye.